tailgating season is upon us. That's right, football season's in full swing. We need some good tailgating recipes. I'm gonna start off today with a tremendous tri-tip roast sandwiches. We're gonna have some grilled peppers and onions on there with it. It's gonna be fantastic, so stick around and see how I make it. Hi, I'm Chef Johnny. This is Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisine. Appreciate you stopping by. Hey guys, and I do have a nice recipe for you today. This will do great at your next tailgate, or if you just have some friends over you want to impress, this is a very good tri-tip roast recipe. So, hey, come in here, let me show you how to do it, and you can impress your friends and your family with this great tri-tip roast. Come in here and let's see how I get it seasoned up. Here's my tri-tip. It was pre-trimmed, got this already this way at the grocery store. So I'm gonna come in with a little SPG, some Uncle Steve's All-American. And I tell you what, I really do like his All-American SPG. But get a good coating on there. And then we're gonna come back with a classic on top of this, guys. One of my favorite go-tos anytime I'm cooking beef. And that is cow cover from Cosmos. You just cannot go wrong with cow cover, guys. But we're gonna cover it up. Didn't do any trimming on this one. It was already trimmed up for me. And I'm gonna put a good coating on here. Get up, like we always do, right? And just kind of get the sides covered with what's left on there. Get that end. I'm gonna go with just a little bit more cow cover here. That looks pretty. We're gonna let this sweat out, get it on that Weber kettle and sear it off. Let's get this off of there. Grab hold of our tri-tip. We're gonna put it on this hot end over here where we can get a good sear on it. And that would be my son practicing shooting there. Nothing like having a 9mm going off in the middle of your cook, right? Now, if you wanted to use your grill grates on here, that would be perfect. Y'all see me use those a lot. I just didn't happen to have them on here today. See if we can flip this over. Sear that off a little bit. Got a little too dark right there. Also, if you look, I have this set for an offset cook, guys. So I have the charcoal over here inside of the slow and sear. I have aluminum foil in the bottom, force all that air through the bottom, up through our charcoal to our meat. Much better way to do this than just leaving it open. You get a lot of cold air flow through there when you're doing an offset cook in a kettle. So remember, offset cooks in the kettle, foil around the bottom grate. Let the air come up through your charcoal. Let's get this side seared good, and then we're gonna start looking at getting it on an offset cook and take it up to 130 degrees. Look at that. That on there, I'm gonna sear this end a little bit. I am not above flipping this meat and flipping it and flipping it. Some people tell you don't, just flip it once. I guess the club of flipping as much as it needs to be flipped. You sit up there and sear that side a little bit. I'm gonna slow this fire down some, so I'm gonna go ahead and almost close my bottom vent so it'll start slowing down a little bit. About have this sear where I want it. What I'm gonna do, folks, is I'm gonna sit it right there, kind of put that small end away from the fire. I'm gonna get my temperature gauge, get that in there so I can take it up to that 130 degrees. Then we'll pull it, let it rest for about 10 minutes. That's gonna bring it up to 135, 140. Should be just perfect for making some fantastic sandwiches for this tailgating experience we're gonna try to do for y'all today. Gonna take our thermometer and put it in there. There we go. Let's cover this up. take her up to 130 degrees. See y'all when it gets there. That roast has come to temp. We're gonna get it off of here. Looks pretty, got some nice smoke on it. And then I'm gonna bring over my cast iron griddle, get it up here, and this is where I'm going to saute my peppers and onions. Let's get this hot now. My griddle's had time to get hot, so I'm gonna add some olive oil to it. And now I'm just gonna add some onions, some bell pepper. I have red and green and yellow. Just gonna cook these till they get tender. You know, I always talk to you about layering flavors, so I'm gonna come back with my SPG and my cow cover on my bell peppers. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna add flavor to those peppers that we would not have had otherwise. So we're just increasing that flavor we have. We're getting dimensions of flavor, and it is gonna make this a much better sandwich by adding some seasonings back into our bell peppers and onions. If you wanted to add a little butter to this, again, more flavors. Move this out of the way. I have got a bunch of onions and peppers that are ready. These are nice and they're tender. Don't want to take them any more than they are. Some of them are getting a little bit too black, but I'm not scared of my peppers being a little black on my sandwiches. I've already sliced my breads. Here's my breads, but we're gonna put them on. Let them soak up a little bit of that oil, a little of those seasonings, and also a little of that pepper juice, right? It's gonna be up in that bread. Again, we are layering flavors. I wanna show you how to properly slice this tri-tip to get it where it's going across the grain, because it's like a brisket. It's got grains going two directions. So I wanna show you that up close, and I want to be able to show you how it makes this sandwich. So we're gonna try to get that done. The wind's picking up. I don't know how much you're gonna hear the wind in the camera, but we're gonna try to get this done, try to get this finished up and let you see this beautiful sandwich. Let's get this uncovered. And you can see we're kind of running this way, right? So what we're wanting to do is cut this way, right? So I'm gonna make my first cut here, right? These are going this way, so we're gonna cut them kind of this way, but I'm gonna cut here and separate them. All right, kind of where that point is, just separate the two. Now, that's the way they're going, is just like that. So don't keep going that way. I'm gonna spin this around, and I'm gonna cut this thinly, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm also gonna cut it on the bias right here. Nice and thin, across the grain. It's nice and juicy. Here's the pink. You can see that. I wanted to cook this a little bit more than I usually do. Normally I would pull it about 125. Today I didn't. I wanted to take a little more for these sandwiches. Now let's look at this other end. If you look, I'm going across the grain there. So let me come here. We're going to cut it thin across the grain. We have horses, and you got horses around, you're going to get some flies. So I apologize for that, but we're trying our best. But I think I got some nice sliced tri-tip here. We're going to make a sandwich, let y'all see it, and we'll see how it does. There we go. That looks pretty. Here we have it. I'm gonna give a little try to this. We got a nice toasted bun. I'm gonna just wipe up some of these drippings. That's just gonna add flavor to it, but we're going there. Now it has some Dijon mustard. So it's gonna be a spicy mustard. But I did want something with a little bit of kick. Didn't want plain mustard. Surely didn't want mayo on it. Now if you wanted to do a nice sauce, you could do that. Add a little horseradish to it. That would make a great sauce to go on here, but we have got that. That's a good looking bun. I'm gonna come in here and lay me some tri-tip in here. Can't take it all because I got family gonna eat too, but I think that's a nice sandwich. Let's get some. These peppers. Cook those up on that griddle. Some onion. Get these colorful peppers in there. Little yellow. Some red. Look at that. Little green with some char on it. That is a pretty sandwich right there, and I bet you it's gonna taste wonderful. That is a beautiful, beautiful sandwich. I'm gonna close it up. Take my knife here, cut it. Let's take a look on the inside. How does that look, guys? Time for a sample and a bite of this tri-tip. Come in here and see how it does. Normally I cut away right when I take that bite, but today I held on a little bit longer because I wanted you to see the clean bite through. This tri-tip is nice and tender. You slice it across the grain. Don't overcook it. You're gonna get a great, great steak. Whether you do a tri-tip roast for Thanksgiving or you do a tri-tip sandwich for a tailgating, or you just do a nice tri-tip on the grill for the family. However you want it, tri-tip's the way to go. Tri-tip tacos, they're not bad either. It's a great cut of meat, and it's not a bad price at all, so you get a lot of bang for your buck when you're cooking up tri-tips. These came out tremendous. I hope you liked it. I hope you give it a try. And please tell your friends and family about us. Share us on your social media. Tell everybody to come over here and see what the ultimate beef-loving Texan is cooking up. I'll have that title for the next year or so. So anyways, hey, tell your friends and family about us. Share us on your social media. And we're going to see y'all down the road on Texas-style barbecue and cuisine. So long, everybody.
How them boys put food away beats all I've ever seen.